Yo, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to the Comic Jabronis channel. Today's video, I've got a special trade paperback review to bring you guys. And you're not going to believe it, but it's a Daredevil story. You're going to want to stick around for this review. Yo, so welcome back. Like I said, my name is Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing and reviewing Daredevil Born Again from 1987, written by Frank Miller, and the artwork is done by David Mazzucchelli. So if you guys have been following my channel for at least the past year, and you watch Buy or Pass on Tuesdays, that includes myself, Rod the Rican, Perry Comics, and sometimes, John's Comics with Kids, you know that for the past year, I have given nothing but grief and heartache and pain to Rod anytime that he brings up or discusses Daredevil.
He's blind.
Mr. Magoo knows Kung Fu, baby. That's Daredevil.
Hey, well, you guys are knocking off the ballpark, man. And you know what?
No, there is one book.
One more.
It's about this. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, man. It's brand new. You've never seen it before. So it's about this crazy kid, man. When he was a kid, like he got hit by this truck and this stuff like fell on him in his eyes. And then he went blind, dude. And I don't know. After that, he started learning martial arts. And it's something about a blind dude that can fight. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Sounds ridiculous.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Daredevil. It's coming out tomorrow.
Well, last year, Rod, in an effort to get me to read Daredevil and just to understand why he cared about the character so much, he sent me a trade in the mail. And that is this Daredevil Dark Knights.
Just out of curiosity, Edwin, have you read that Daredevil trade I gave you?
No, but I have it. It's in my stack of books to read. I'm gonna read it, but
he ain't read it. I'm gonna find that on AOK. The pages ripped out and stuffed up. Yep.
This guy.
As you can see, Rod asked if I had read it. I said no, I had not gotten a chance to, but I asked him, what is the gist of Daredevil? Tell me, why should I be reading Daredevil? And it doesn't get any better from there.
Lord. Tell me, Rod, what is going on in Daredevil that is so badass I have to read it? Just tell me kind of the gist of what the story is. That's what I want to know. But let's go, Rod. Tell me why I need to go buy.
He wears tight pants.
He wears tight pants and he's blind.
I've seen Ben Affleck as Daredevil. I know he wears.
He still get cool birthday gifts for his buddy, and but yet he's still hanging out with all these criminals in the kitchen table having dinner with all the bad people. And you know what? He doesn't want. He's just trying to escape from this. He just want to be a normal dude. But you know what? Yo. Ain't gonna happen, man. It's Daredevil, man. He hears everything. He sees everything. In some shape or form, he sees stuff, man.
Rod brings up the craziest things in the world. Some of the craziest explanations on why I should be reading Daredevil, because he gets gifts for people and he's blind, and I don't really remember what else he said because it doesn't matter. So in January, I took a trip to Tampa and I said, listen, Rod, I am going to read this on the plane while I am on my way to Tampa. I'll read it on the way there, or I'll read it on the way back, and I did. And I'll tell you what, I got about one story in and I was done. It did not give me any sort of satisfaction, did not make me want to read Daredevil anymore. So on a Buy or Pass in February, we were talking about Daredevil because it was releasing, and I brought this book out, and John said, no, Edwin, whoever gave you that was playing a mean joke on you. This is
That people like hot garbage water.
Dude, no. Edwin, if that's your reading Daredevil, that's a fail right there. That's not the book I would have given anybody to start Daredevil.
I was AOK'd this by somebody.
Who? Who gave you that
That,
hot garbage water?
that was a fail right there. I gotta say.
I got to one story and I was like, oh my god, I hate Daredevil.
Yeah, that's not the right one. I
No,
apologize.
Ron just picked a random Daredevil book. He's like, hey, read this.
Out to you, man.
I'll hook it up. I'll make
I
it right.
appreciate you sending me an AOK. You don't ever have to do that, but you do, and I appreciate it. I love you. But man, if you gave me a book so that I really would poop on Daredevil, thank you. This is the one. Thanks, man.
Yeah, let me.
So my buddy John's Comics with Kids sent me this. He AOK'd Daredevil Born Again by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. And right here on the front page, he writes, Edwin, sorry Rod gave you a crappy Daredevil book. This one is way better. If you still disagree after reading this, then pass it along to the community from John. Love. It says, with all my love, John. So I read this right after he had sent it to me, and I have to tell you that this is what I wanted to read in a Daredevil story. This is an amazing story. So this trade right here collects Daredevil's issue 226 through 233. But actually only issues 227 through 233 are the Born Again stories. The first issue is kind of an issue that gets Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli together just to get their feet wet on Daredevil and then jump them right into that Born Again story. The definitive Daredevil tale by industry legends Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. Karen Page, Matt Murdock's former lover, has traded away the Man Without Fear's secret identity for a drug fix. Now, Daredevil must find strength as the Kingpin of crime wastes no time taking him down as low as a human can get. So that right there is the gist of this story right from the very beginning. Karen Page, to get a fix because she's a drug addict, to get a fix, she sells away the identity of Daredevil as Matt Murdock. This information gets back to Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin of crime, and right from there, he starts tearing down Matt Murdock. He blows up the building that he lives in. He gets him disbarred from being a lawyer, and Matt Murdock just cannot believe these things are going on, and he gets lower and lower and lower. The first 5 chapters in this story are called Apocalypse, Purgatory, Pariah, Born Again, and Saved. Now, if those ring any bells in your head, it might be because this right here has a lot of religious tones in it. We know Daredevil, Matt Murdock, is a Catholic man, and we've seen it in his other stories. We've seen it in the movies, right? He goes to the Catholic priest a lot. He talks to him, and in this story, you kind of get the same. Now, every chapter starts off in a different way. The first one being with Matt Murdock in bed, all laid out, feeling great about himself, and then the next one, he's in this nasty, dark, ugly apartment or a hotel room. After that, he's gotten so low that he's now living on the streets. Then he's at the Catholic church being tended to by the nurses. And this picture right here kind of shows you how he is like laid there as if he was Jesus. And then he's saved. So this is really a redemption story, right? It is a classic breaking down of a character and then bringing them back up from through redemption to get them to be a hero again. Absolutely loved this story. Now the artwork, in my opinion, out of a 5, 1 to 5, this is a 4 out of 5. I think David Mazzucchelli just did an amazing job drawing this story that Frank Miller wrote. So that's the first 5 issues in here. Then the next 2 are Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin of crime, cannot totally kill off Daredevil. He goes to the US government to try to enlist the help of one man that he believes can kill Daredevil. Now in my mind, I was always thinking, man, it's gotta be Bullseye, but it ends up being this new character named Nuke. Nuke is off in a South American jungle killing off these terrorists when he gets pulled into New York City to try and defeat Daredevil. Now that is one of the issues that I've had with this story. Now, I still am absolutely in love with this Daredevil story, but I really thought that instead of using a brand new character, this guy Nuke, who has the American flag painted on his face, I really thought they should have used a character from Daredevil's past like Bullseye to try to kill him off. In the story, you get 4 main characters you're getting a point of view on, right? You get Matt Murdock's point of view, you get his buddy Foggy Nelson's point of view, who's trying to save Matt Murdock, but Murdock wants nothing to do with him. Foggy Nelson doesn't really understand what's going on. Then you get Karen Page, and then you also get a news reporter, Ben Urich, who understands what kind of is going on, and he is trying to break the story by diving deeper into it, right? He's trying to write this paper, but he's also getting threatened by the Kingpin and getting his life threatened. His wife is actually assaulted in their home. Guys, you all know, if you watch my channel enough, I'm not the biggest Daredevil fan. I never really have been. I always thought there were cooler heroes in New York City, Spider-Man being one of them. Never really got into Daredevil. But I want to say thank you to John for sending this to me, because he knew that there had to be a story out there that was just great enough to bring the comic jabroni into reading Daredevil. Now, Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli have worked again after this, and that was on Batman Year One. That is another story that I believe everybody should read. One issue that I have again with this trade though is it is issues 226 through 233. But instead of giving them all to you sequentially, they wait until the very, very end to give you issues 226, right? So 227 starts this trade off, then you get the rest of that story, and at the end they'd say, well, these two worked on issue 226, but it is not part of the story, so that we give it to you at the very end. I just kind of wish they would have given you 226 right from the beginning, and then you read into the story. So if you find yourself out there wanting to read some Daredevil, where do I start? What is a starting line? Where do I jump in? Guys, Daredevil Born Again by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli is definitely a story that you should pick up. But hey, don't take my word for it.
Hey everybody, this is John from John's Comics with Kids, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Born Again, my favorite Daredevil story. The starting line I picked for the Daredevil, and I sent one of these trades to my man Jabroni because I know he was suffering for some Daredevil goodness after an unfortunate issue with another trade. I will tell you, this is the greatest Daredevil story for so many reasons, but the number 1 and 2 are Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli, the guys who did Batman Year One. They did this story, and it is fire top to bottom. My favorite version of the Kingpin masterminding an evil plan to destroy Matt Murdock because he has learned that Matt Murdock is the Daredevil. What a phenomenal idea. A villain with horrible plans for a hero, and a hero who is vulnerable because his secret identity has been laid bare. I love this story for all the side characters. The newspaper reporter who's trying to crack the case, but he's also being intimidated by the Kingpin and his powerful mob. You've got poor Karen Page, who is suffering from a terrible addiction, and she is being put through the ringer and is therefore putting others in danger. You got Foggy Nelson, the lawyer, who's trying to do right by his friend Matt Murdock, but also knows that he's putting his friend in danger. I think this story is amazing. Very dark, very twisted, as only Frank Miller can tell, but definitely worth your time. Top to bottom, awesome. By the way, guest appearances from guys like Captain America, so check it out.
Yo, John, man, thank you for that 2-minute review. Again, thank you so much for sending this to me. What I'm going to do is send this out to a member of the community. So if you are watching this video and you've made it this far, put down in the comments below that you want to be entered into the giveaway, because today's giveaway is going to be this trade paperback that is signed by John. It's going to be signed by myself, and I will send it to you so you can read Born Again. Now, where can you find these issues? You can go on Amazon and look up Daredevil Born Again trade paperback. There was one made in 1987 that's a little bit harder to find, a little bit more expensive, and then this one that was made in 2000, I believe it was 11. You can also go on the Marvel Universe app or the Marvel Unlimited app and find all those Daredevil issues in there if you already have subscribed to the Marvel Unlimited app and read it. I suggest that all comic book fans read this story. This is not just for Daredevil fans. I believe that this is a classic tale that needs to be read by all comers. So there you go, guys. That is my Daredevil Born Again review. It is one of my favorite reads from this past year and a half that I have been reading up on stuff. I will tell you that reading this has made me start reading the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil run that I found on Marvel Unlimited. That is the same run that I've given Rod and John's Comics with Kids a hard time about, but I am in the middle of it. I've read about 9 or 10 issues, and to tell you the truth, kind of enjoying it. Wow. I never thought I'd hear the comic jabroni said he enjoyed a Daredevil read. Guys, no joke, it is a great read. Chip Zdarsky has done a great job on X-Men and Fantastic Four. He's done an awesome job on this Daredevil run, but I believe that Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli Born Again title is one that needs to be read by all. But hey guys, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, think about hitting that subscribe button, joining the hashtag Comic Jabroni Nation, dropping content all the time. Thank you to everybody that's watched this video. Remember, comment down below if you want in on the giveaway for that trade paperback. But until next time, Medwin, the Comic Jabroni, take it easy.
Over 9,000!
Peace.